Okay, so keeping on the Sly Cooper theme, I thought I'd just show you how to do a Sly Cooper style double jump where you watch when he does his double jump, he doesn't really jump again. He has a very slight increase on the Z on the double jump, but it mainly kind of floats the character a little bit. So when he double jumps, you could always slow it down on YouTube and just kind of see how it works. But there's this very small jump, but he kind of floats there for a little longer and then falls down. So after sitting here and doing this like 200 times to just try and get a feel for it, I think I've got it pretty close. So I'm going to show you how to do that, and then I'll show you how to add the double jump animation as well. I'm not going to recreate that bit, I'm just going to show you what I did. So to start off, you're going to need two variables, a jump counter that's an integer and a double jump, which is a boolean. So to do that, you just press plus on the variable, type in the name, and then over here you can select what you want it to be. One's an integer, one's a boolean. Okay, so we're just going to right click, you've probably already got the default jump stuff, but I'm just going to do it from scratch. So to start off, we're just going to grab the jump counter, which you're going to set to 0, by the way, which means that you've got no jumps to begin with. We're going to get an equal node, and then just leave that as 0. And we're going to type in and bool for an and boolean. Drag this one into the top. Move these down here. And then we're going to right click and type in is falling. So is the character falling? Hold B and left click for a branch off of started. And then just put that in as the condition. And then off of false, we're going to get another branch. And then type in and jump. So it's checking if the player can jump if this is false. Okay, so now we're going to get the jump counter again. So hold control and drag it out to get it. We're going to get a less than 2. Type in 2 in this box. And then get a branch out of true. I'm going to check that. So if that's true, we're going to hold Alt and drag this out to set it out of true. And then if that's true, we're going to drag out jump counter. And then add. Sorry, my OBS mic mute button is the plus and minus, which is a bit dumb of me. But we're just going to add one, or you could just do the increment node, either one. Just going to reroute these. You can just double click the line to get a reroute node. And then that's going to set that. And then out of this, we're going to get greater than or equal to. So if it's greater than or equal to 2, just hold B and left click to get another branch. If that's true, out of false, we're just going to get Unreal's default jump. Then let's go all the way back to completed. We're going to get stop jumping. Then on the stop jumping as well, we're going to hold Alt and left click and drag out double jump, and we're going to set this to false. So this is going to tell the animation blueprint that we're not jumping anymore. Okay, and then lastly, we're actually just going to set up the double jump logic. Now you could just do this right off the true, but I like to do custom events to keep the chain of code looking a little bit cleaner. So I'm just going to create right click custom event, and then I'm just going to call this test. And then what we're going to do is out of this, we're going to launch character. And then for me, 100 was good, but this was just for testing purposes. So you might want to mess around with these values yourself, because it depends on your gravity and all that kind of stuff. Speaking of gravity, we're going to get character movement, drag it out. I'm going to set gravity scale. this one. Then I used, I believe, 0.5. Now my default gravity is 2, so you might not want to use 0.5, but just play around with the values. We're going to get a delay. I think I used 0.6. But again, find what's right for you. And I'm just going to highlight these, Control D to copy them. And then I'm going to set it back to 2. And then just as a failsafe on your event, landed, you might want to set your gravity back to 2. But on the event on landed, while we're here, you're going to want to set the jump counter to 0 and double jump to false. If you've got multiple stuff in your event on landed, maybe get sequence node, but yeah, just Alt 0 and then Alt unchecked, like this. Okay, so with this custom event now complete, that's literally everything. Out of true, we're just going to get that custom event, so just type in the name of it. And then out of this, we're going to set double jump to true to tell the animation blueprint to play the animation. And that's it. So now let's go to the animation blueprint. Okay, so real quick, you can get a free front flip animation from Mixamo. If you don't know what Mixamo is, it's an Adobe product where it's just a huge library of free animations. There's loads that you can use, and they're pretty good quality for the most part. You're going to want to find one that's in place, not root motion, unless your whole animation setup is all in root motion, then you'll want root motion. But you probably wouldn't add the launch character. But yeah, most of the time you're going to want to check in place so it's not root motion. If you don't know how to retarget Mixamo animations to like the UE5 mannequin or to your own custom character, there is literally hundreds of tutorials on how to do that, so I'm not going to show that here. You could go find one real quick. And one other flip that I know is free is if you go to the UE marketplace and look for Paragon Wukong. You can just go to Wukong animations, and there should be a forward flip and a back flip as well. So you can retarget that, which is what I did. I just go over to my jump animation. The reason I used the Wukong one is because my character holds a weapon, and so does Wukong in the same hand by chance, so that's the one I used. So let's go to your animation blueprint. And like I said at the start of the video, I'm not going to completely recreate this from scratch. You can just kind of copy what I did. So in your event graph, you should have a character reference, but if not, in your initialize blueprint animation, you're just gonna cast a third person character, try get pawn owner, and then right click, promote this to a variable, and then just call this character reference or whatever you want to do. And then over on your blueprint update animation, you're gonna get your reference to your character, drag out, get double jump, and then right click and promote to a variable and just set that up. I did that already somewhere. Yeah, I did it here. Okay, so once you've got that reference, you're just gonna go over to your animation graph, and you'll have one called main states. Open that up, and you'll have this by default, except for the double jump, of course. And you're just gonna right click, add a state, call it double jump inside, get your animation and plug it in. So I have it here, double jump. And then from jump, you're going to connect it. And inside this one, you're just going to drag out double jump and just put it in. Like that. And then from double jump to fall loop, the transition is going to be double jump not. So you can just drag out and get a not boolean, and then drag out of this and get an and boolean. And then if you type in, if you right click, type in time remaining, and it will pop up with the animation that it's coming from. Whatever yours is called, whatever your double jump animation is called. Just going to click that, and then out of the return value, get a less than or equal to. And 0.2 worked for me, but you could change this if you wanted. And then from for loop to double jump, you're just going to drag this in like the other one. And that's everything. So let me show you what it looks like. So maybe my gravity scale is a little, it might need to be a little bit higher, but it's got a very slight jump on the Z that could even go down a little bit. Like I say, you just want to play with those values a little bit. I could just, for example, do that real quick. So I'm going to come over here. Maybe this should be like 80, gravity maybe like 0.8. Maybe like a 0.5 delay, something like that. Just play around with these numbers here. Let's try that again. I think the gravity scale, I think 0.6 was good. I just think the delay might be a little bit too long. Yeah, that seems pretty good. Yeah, it's pretty close. This was the best way I could find to kind of replicate it, because I tried just doing launch character with a little bit, but he just falls too quick. And I noticed in Sly Cooper, it kind of delays the fall a little bit, so this was my workaround for that. And it looks pretty similar, and it feels kind of similar as well, so I hope that helped.